I threw you a curveball.
Hey, I was ready.
You
I
were
got my
ready.
wave. I got my wave in and everything.
I kind of did that just to be a total jerk. I'm going to throw Jeremy a curveball.
At least you got us on the correct sides right off jump. So
That well,
there's that.
hey, don't put the chickens too far ahead of us. We still have a guest to throw in here yet. Wow, it's been a week. It's actually been 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Ladies and gentlemen, we took a week off. There was absolutely no way on earth I was going to sit here and try and go wheels up without you when half the freaking RC planet was at Woodstock 2.0. It just was not going to happen. When we heard the turnout, like, oh my word.
Hey, it was I was impressed big time because the turnout was like it just kept coming. Like people just kept coming and it never stopped until they were like, hey, time out. Every car that comes in there had to get towed basically by a tractor to get to its spot. Well, not every car, but I'd say minimum half had to get towed to a spot. It was that slick. And then Saturday and Sunday they were like, hey, if you're not already here, try Rocktober. Because it was such a mess. And it's, you can't control the weather. And like the top 6-7 inches of the planet there in Kentucky decided to turn into Jello pudding, and there wasn't nothing you could do with it. Nothing. It just stayed there.
But it was rain or shine, and clearly Mother Nature won with the rain.
I wouldn't say won. I would say Mother Nature made it interesting.
And yeah, we got some photos. We're going to show some highlights. We got some good clips.
Yeah.
Like the RC community, they just know how to turn a frown upside down. Look at the glass half full, make the most of it. Absolutely.
And the people that were there were all smiles. The kids were they were playing in mud. I mean, it's like a cat with a cardboard box.
Yeah.
It's just natural attraction to play. And it was fantastic. So many smiles, so many cool rigs covered in mud. And then, once they got covered in mud, if you parked it for like 5 minutes, it would rain and wash it all off and you start over again.
Well, that kind of sets us up perfectly for our guests. We brought Mr. Dino RC back again. We don't have too many repeats, but I think it worked out perfectly. That the timing was ideal to bring him back in.
Yeah.
He that's a big presence. That is a big personality at Beat the Creek.
Absolutely.
You're not going to go to that event without stumbling across the Dino RC guys.
Yeah, those guys were everywhere. I had a lot of people that weren't familiar with their group. Like
got real familiar real quick.
Yeah, they were like, "Who is this?" And it was all the California people. So, getting into the heads of California people without a Starbucks or a foo-foo coffee drink is kind of tough. So maybe they need a coffee stand, and then the Californians will know who they are.
Yeah, I think in California their first words are like reef coming out of their mouth. Like that's all they know.
Yeah.
They get locked in their own algorithm. Yeah. Brock is their second word.
Brah.
Well, it's perfect. We bring Dino back. We can dig into Beat the Creek. We've got the official Mother's Day episode. It is Mother's Day weekend. And I think I would be doing a massive disservice as a father if I did not quickly make us all give a happy 19th birthday to my Princess Ella. So
happy birthday, Ella.
I apologize if you are watching, but if
You can turn it off now.
if you were not doing something better on a Saturday night at college, I am sorry. But no, happy birthday, kiddo. We went out to her school today. We got to have a little family time with her and throw some presents at her. And she'll
Cool.
be home in a week, bro. Like, I feel like we just set that dorm up. Like,
Wow.
I felt like yesterday, and we're going to tear it down next
Summer break?
summer break. Yep. And then next year she'll be getting an actual apartment. Dorm life. The dorm life chapter is closed.
Okay.
She put in her time, and
Now she's doing the apartment thing.
yep, the apartment thing. Yep.
Cool. Cool.
All right. So I don't know how many of the people in this chat are going to be talking about doing any RC tomorrow. I know I've been getting bugged to hit the trails tomorrow. I'm like, dude, it's Mother's Day. If we're gonna do this, I need to thread that needle like so tight, dude. Like,
I mean, it's a delicate thing.
I know,
You know,
right? It's not Father's Day. The last time I
yeah.
checked.
Take mom with you.
How's a
You
little
know.
quiet time sound? I'll get out your hair.
Or there's a good spin, quiet time. But hey, look, you have a couple hours left. Edible Arrangements is still taking orders.
Exactly.
Like, get it done, get it delivered as early as you can, and then go hit the trails and let her eat her edible arrangement.
Yes. What does that buy you? At least an hour, right? Like an
Yeah.
hour minimum.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. We're going to bring Don in here. For any of our new friends and the frequent flyers that are back racking up those miles, Jeremy's got the words for you. He's going to make sure you're liking and commenting and sharing all that good stuff. But subscribing is number one. And I'm going to call out a call to action. If anybody's watching that can share it to a private group or anything, you do it, because every time when I do it, I screw it up. I'm sharing.
You do. You tend to post last week's episode or the previous.
I'm so done. I'm like,
but,
I got to put this on somebody else.
It's a thing. But I do want to give Holly Wiles a shout out from Nova Scotia, Canada, tuning in. So we got Canadians in the house. So thanks for watching.
Fantastic. Is she here in the chat room now?
Yes.
Or okay.
Yep.
All right. I know we got some faces in the chat, people that recognized you at Beat the Creek from the show. It was great to get some feedback, and they were so freaking stoked to actually see you in person. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
I don't see myself as a celebrity by any means, or
no,
but it's cool for people to say hello. I do appreciate that, and I appreciate you watching. And it's kind of humbling.
Respect the knowledge, respect the person. I think
and I was all over the place at Beat the Creek. Like, you could have saw me at the donut shop, you could have saw me at the barn, you could have saw me at any one of the trailheads, the Scaltra tent, the K&K tent, the Reefs tent. Like, I was all over the place. 11 Charlie tent, Walking Tacos, we did it. So I was all over the place, to the point where people were like, how do you keep getting from one side of the event to the other, and why are you so clean?
Like, they had tunnels under the ground.
Like,
for you
my reply was, have you ever seen a dirty sergeant major? And the answer was no. And I was like, that's why I'm so clean.
The thing. Even retired, it just stays with you.
Yep. I have the secret.
Once a soldier, always a soldier. All right. We are going to do a smooth little transition here. Boom. Let's do this. It's fun. It's a little 9-second transition. Don,
take your guess on where I end up on the screen.
Yeah.
Take your guess.
Point it out.
Roulette. Yeah.
All right, Don, make yourself presentable. Here we come. We're going to grab you from the green room.
Good evening.
Good
We-
evening, Don.
oh boy, he's got the shirt on and all. I love it.
Oh,
Is
yeah,
that
represent?
some new gear or is that apparel from last year?
This is actually last year's beach
Design.
shirt.
Okay.
The somebody bought mine off my back while I was there.
Goodness,
Wow.
that's funny.
Wow.
Yeah, I
That's-
sold out.
that is-
I'm always big guy friendly with our shirts, and usually have plenty of them. And he come in the second or third day and was like, "I need one of those shirts," and I'm like, "Sold out." I was like, "The
That's
only one we got left is
fantastic.
one on my back. I just put it on this morning." He's like, "I'll take it." So I yanked her off and put on a t-shirt.
That's cool. That is cool.
Yeah, definitely cool. Well, we didn't mean to go. We didn't want to spoil anything. I mean, this has got to be a recap about Beat the Creek. There is no question. We have to dive in. And I think we said it best. You can't go far without throwing a stone and hitting one of the Dino guys. If it's not
No.
a actual official team member, why does it keep throwing me over there? Dude, I wonder if it's because I'm talking.
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be, but I'm
No.
going to throw them back in there every time. But I was wondering if it was starting to highlight the microphones, but
Yeah.
that would be kind of cool.
That would drive me nuts.
It would. Don, let's do it real official. Give us an intro, where to find you during the week and all that good stuff, your Facebook, wherever you're hanging out. Where do people find Dino RC?
The best place to find us is on our Dino RC Facebook group page. That's where all the drivers and our group members are and hang out. We do a nightly Zoom, usually it's fast and loose on the time, but usually about 10 p.m., sometimes to 4 a.m. in the morning Eastern. We have our website, www.dinorc.com, and we have our YouTube page.
Okay. And I'm going to share this over to the Dino RC page in a second. I will take care of that. I just wanted to make sure I had the right one and we're sharing the right show. My first question to you, Don, have you gotten all the mud out from behind the ear and in the cracks where the sun don't shine? Because the mud seemed to be everywhere.
Yeah, there was a lot of mud. Now, there's still some... My truck needs some loving inside and out still. My trailer, but Dino was able to hose it all off.
Very good.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that much mud or rain? I mean, you're
yeah.
okay. So being a central,
that was just fun for me. I mean, that's just a regular Friday or Saturday night. You know, that's fun.
Oh, I don't know. At some point, I have to cry uncle and say enough is enough. There is a point when
having mud tires.
But beyond the mud, you have to give a big shout out. I mean, holy smokes, Beat the Creek has pulling people. There's the overall amount. I've heard a 2,000 number. That's a lot.
Yeah, I don't think they would ever tell us the actual number.
The actual fine.
You know, the classic at Beat the Creek is, what's the highest wristband you saw, right? So I saw 1,700 number. So I don't know if that's accurate or not, but it is believable.
Yeah, I would say, you know, it's hard to gauge on the people because the property is, you know, just so big. You know, it doesn't seem that crowded. But when you go down, you know, through the campers, and they've got campers all the way down the hill and out to the barn. I mean, there was definitely more campers there than there was last year. I don't know about people, but there was definitely more campers. So there was a lot of people.
Yeah, they actually mowed off another 2 acres
Yeah.
on Saturday to put more campers in, more parking, which I know is a cost. You know, Joe has to pay for those crops that are cut. he has to give the the landowner the cost of the of the loss. So I mean, there's expenses to that. That's a serious decision to mow off 2 acres.
Yeah. It definitely
Yeah.
was fun.
The scary part was the difference for this year verse 23 was people were getting stuck going into the event. That was something new.
Mhm.
We were seeing people get stuck and towed out before, but literally getting in, that was something that I think making people a little nervous. But for the tenters, I know Justin and Raymond is in here in the chat. I mean, we knew of some guys in the tents out there camping, roughing it, and did it the entire time. And this was their first event ever. Like how I
Wow.
think that is like holy smokes. If that is your first event, you are being thrown to the wolves like right out the gate. It only gets better from here, gentlemen. Like Mother Nature took it out on you, and it should not. Like that was pretty bad. But
We used to, we used to boat years ago when my kids were little, and we would lake it, every weekend for 2 years, just about. And so we were, I'm kind of used to the bad weather. Bad weather comes, you just roll with it and go on. But yeah, the biggest thing is I thought that the Beat the Creek staff went above and beyond. I don't think every event in America would have been able to handle that situation as good as they did. They really were on top of it. They had multiple tractors going, people with side by sides. Three Brothers was in there with the Humvee,
Yeah.
I mean, it was really good.
oh yeah, I saw the Humvee getting muddy.
Mhm.
But that's a real Humvee. That
Yeah.
one's made for that. That's not a mall
Well,
crawler.
well, it's a H2. Come
Yeah.
on, it's a Tahoe with a different body
Okay.
on it. But fair is fair. That thing did some serious work, and it looked like
It
he
did
was
work.
aired down to like 10.
Wow.
He had full flotation going on. So
Aye, aye.
I know in my truck, I have a Silverado, and they were like, "Hey, just air down the tires." I was like, "But I got to get back on the road." Like that's fine for the 5 minutes I need it in the mud, but I'll just take the tow.
I didn't have any trouble. I was in and out there all weekend long. One time back behind the Donald Kent, we got the back end facing down the hill. But like I said, I've got some pretty aggressive tires on my truck.
Yeah.
And, I was able to get track. A lot of it too is, if you're used to driving in that, if you're not used to driving in that kind of environment. I used to rabbit hunt all winter long in a 2-wheel drive, so.
Yeah.
I get stuck about once a year, and that's saying something, but the, a lot of it's just, learning how to control the throttle. Some of them had their tires are spinning 90 mile an hour and they're
Yeah.
going 5 mile an hour. They're not helping their situation any.
Hang on one second.
They were having fun.
I got it.
Thank you. Jeremy's on the ball.
I got it.
I do want to try one thing here. I have a couple of photos. We can talk about the people. We can continue to talk about the mud, but at some point, I was also impressed with the amount of vendors. So we had Axial for the first time at Beat the Creek with that kind of a presence, like Big Tent. Little strange that 72 hours beforehand they made the announcement that they did. I feel bad for some of the earfuls that those people at the booth were getting. I'm sure
They
got
they
an
were
ear
they were fine. I stood around them all weekend
and played bodyguard. Make sure.
no, nobody was really hassling them.
Good, good.
Yeah. They had too good of sales going on.
Oh, well, yeah, that will keep people quiet.
That'll keep them quiet.
I mean, definitely, we've thrown an audible into the event season. There is no question. I know people are adjusting schedules, canceling hotels, making adjustments to figure out where they're heading next. But the other cool vendor, Boom Racing. Jeremy, are you on that? All right, there you
Yep,
are.
I got it.
Boom, you got Jeremy. I don't know how you got them out there, but it's a cool moment to see Boom, and I mean, with the all wheelbase, I think the timing was
It's
perfect.
adjustable.
Adjustable. Sorry, a there it is.
Yeah, yeah. Boom Racing was out there in force. A lot of new stuff. Like if you were paying attention while you walked around that table, you saw a lot of new product that's not been released yet. That's still in prototype.
Okay.
And you know, if you kind of stuck your nose in, what was that?
I think I was just
Yeah.
background.
If you stuck your nose in the tent and you talked to Ricky, like he would show you what's coming next. Like some really, really cool stuff coming. And Scaltra as well, you know, tented up next to him and getting that app out there. It was pretty cool. There's hundreds of people joined the Scaltra app at the event, and I just hope that they continue using it. Everybody seemed happy with it.
That's the number I was looking for, Jeremy, was to see like pre Beat the Creek and after what kind of numbers went up. I know I've been getting lots of DMs. Everybody's like, dude, I signed up, I got the account, I'm on, love it. It's everything we hope for 2025, just something different. An extra element to your RC, especially for the scale and trail guys out there. And it is super cool to see events like Beat the Creek and GA Rock Zombie and the rest of them, the Recon, all of them that have gotten behind Scaltra to organize something specific for the app, like at the event. Like, very cool.
And they were doing like a lot of giveaways. They had the little coins, they had the towels, the neck sweat towels, which you really didn't need sweat towels. You needed wipe your face or rain towel, which it worked great for that. But I didn't even come back with any. Like I never got one. And I worked the booth. I didn't get a t-shirt, I didn't get a coin, and I didn't get any of the swag. So maybe I'll talk to Jason or
Boo-hoo.
See
Man,
if I can get some swag while I'm at up in Pennsylvania.
I don't think you're going to get a tear shed from any of us here.
No, I know. But I did get my bumpers hand delivered from Jason.
Bumpers. Can we explain? Oh. Are these a new release, or what are we dealing with here?
Yeah, they already had them engineered for this truck. And you could order the bumpers when you ordered the pre-release.
Oh.
So they would come at the same time. They are beefy. They look like some farm truck goodness.
They're nice. Don, did you get a chance to head over to the Boom tent at all?
No, I was tent bound the whole time.
Anchored down.
Yeah, I didn't get rarely more than 2 foot from the tent. So I apologize too to everybody that I might have missed at the vendors booth. I usually get to make at least one trip around Vendor Row, but it was just so bad, and we were just really so busy. We just didn't have a whole lot of breaks to take any time.
Yeah, and Vendor Row was busy. Like it was constant. And it wasn't always the same people walking around. So people, they would hit their trail and then they'd hit Vendor Row, hit a trail, hit Vendor Row. But it was always a constant flow of people, which was amazing because usually they come in herds around lunchtime. But this year it was just constant.
And Vendor Row kind of turned into its own trail. So I think a lot of people just enjoyed in that we did a mud contest for the muddiest truck. Matter of fact, I did 3 of them, but I wish I would have started one with you had to have a perfectly clean truck and put it down and make one lap around Vendor Row. That would have been awesome.
That'd have been good. Yeah, I saw the Cow RC the demo there. That was Friday, I guarantee it, because there's still grass.
And I see a little
Yeah.
bit of daylight, sunlight even.
Well, we had
Does it go
sunlight
as-
most days. We
Oh,
we
okay.
had good sunshine most days.
Okay.
It was just occasional rain, but it was like, I don't know, 2 inches an hour when it did
Yeah.
rain. But yeah, that was definitely Friday. If you see grass in any of the pictures in Vendor Row, it was Friday or it was early Saturday. Because midday Saturday, there wasn't no grass left.
Yeah, Saturday it rained all day, and it had just was a steady rain.
Yeah.
Friday you had some pretty good downpours, but but overall, the weather was nice. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just there was just so much rain that in short bursts,
Yeah.
but the sun was out and people had a good time.
And people like Fishing Bill, I keep throwing up him here in his inner tube. That gives a little bit of appreciation as to what kind of weather we were dealing with. When all else fails, grab the
Yeah.
pink inner tube.
If he'd have went down to the SCX6 trail, he would have needed that inner tube because I was watching SCX6s go completely underwater doing the step climb up the creek. And that's a lot of truck to disappear. It's a lot of truck.
Yeah. You're talking about burying an SCX6. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
An awful
an
lot of
SCX6 completely disappear underwater.
You didn't point at an SCX6 behind you, did you? Oh, I can't see.
Yeah.
Wait, are you going to make me zoom you in? Are you pointing at an SCX6?
That's his honcho.
Oh, wait on. Oh, is that Matt Coacher?
It is.
Okay. All right.
Not mine.
I'm starting to put the pieces of the puzzle together
The
here.
moto is mine.
Ooh.
Not the 6.
Now that's a big deal. The moto. Don, did you ever drive one of those? The Pro Moto.
I have not driven one yet, but it is on my shopping cart list.
I bet, yeah.
I got the deal of the century on that bad boy.
Of course he did.
Yep. $3 bills.
Oh, that's good too.
And I love my comment. I was like, oh, I would have jumped on that. And he's like, I think anybody with a pulse would have jumped on that. Like, oh, yeah. Fair enough.
One of our team drivers had one down at RTO down at J. Adele's in Arkansas last fall. And he had a huge ramp set up. And I mean, those things will take a beat. And I was surprised. The only drop on them is just, you're limited on how long you can run with the battery. But now for that 10, 15 minutes, you're going to be having a blast.
Yeah. Yeah. And it came with 2 batteries. So like I have, 2 5200s that are, it's pretty cool. I only really got it for the Dakar kit for the night customs. So I needed a display model and I couldn't say no to that price, and it's got some upgrades on it too. So, I'll be able to bash on a little bit with the Dakar kit. So
yeah.
RC Garages, he said he got his Pro Moto from a pawn shop for $250.
Holy smoke.
Smoking deal. Man, I remember when people were spending $1,000 for these things. Man.
That is a smoking deal. Holy crap.
Deal.
Wow. I thought you had it hands down, Jeremy. I thought 300 was going to be it.
That's the cheapest one I've heard of.
Bobby, you're telling us I have a chance. Like there might be another deal out there one day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some people were just like, yep, time for it to go. And
bravo to James Knight for that file pack. I mean, that's a completely different look. I was a supermoto kind of guy. I like the dirt bike with the tiny road tire up front.
Mm-hmm.
I like that style. But yeah, James Knight took a hand grenade and just threw it into this thing and changed the look.
Crackhead price. Yeah, yeah. That's the price. It happens.
One look at Bobby, and he knew he was going to have to cut the price.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Oh man.
So what was, as a vendor, Don, as the vendor in the group here, what was your overall feel, vibe, the presence? Everybody remained good spirited? Was everybody's wallets open? How were sales? What's your overall grade? Can you give it an A, an A minus, a B? Where are we at?
Yeah, I mean, it was the A+ for me.
Bingo.
I was worried, even Thursday setting up, seeing the weather, even coming up through the week, I was like, oh man, because we invest a lot of money to go, and it's not really that you make a lot of money. It's you hope. I'm hoping to break even, but the people just another big shout out. Thank you for everybody that supported the Dino RC tent. We really appreciated it. We were able to give away 5 trucks while we were there. So 4 of them went to kids. So that was good. We gave away several t-shirts, several dinosaur stuffed animals, just all kinds of stuff that we were able to do. And that's how we do what we do. But anyway, the sales were really good. People, that was the biggest surprise, is especially Saturday, as the mud inside the dino tents got deeper and deeper and deeper. I mean, it was like lava. It was just runny, thick mud, like caramel coming through the tent. And, you just can't believe that people are wading through. And, the tent, we usually are wide open. Everybody's got as many walls covered as they can to keep water from, coming in and getting on their product. And they're just coming in and going up the little aisles that you've made. And it was just really crazy. But yeah, everybody there was, and for myself too, usually, and I bought a couple trucks while I was there, but I think that's a big draw for the people. The people originally come for the trails, the vendors come for the people, and now there's a lot of people come for the vendors. So
Yeah.
the vendors is just as important as the trail when it comes
I mean,
to the draw for Beach Creek.
I mean, if you really think about it, you're in the middle of Kentucky, right?
Yep.
And,
Well,
and you're drawing people in from all the surrounding areas, and there's no major hobby shops that would carry that much inventory.
No.
So, getting on site with these, that might be their big purchase time of the year, for everything that they may need, because they can go direct to the vendor and get it. So that's huge.
Something that I've found, because our group's quite big, and we talk to a lot of our drivers quite often. But a misconception, on the comp side, and I do a lot of comping, you get to see a lot of the cutting edge stuff, a lot of prototypes. You get to see a lot of cool stuff. But if you're just a trail guy that builds trucks in your house, and take them out on the weekend, maybe with your kids or your buddies, you're not getting to see that much stuff, And so when you come to an event like Beat the Creek, you get to go through all the tents and see different builds. And I mean, it's really exciting to get to see all the new products.
Yeah. There was one in particular that I saw. I don't know if you have a picture of it, Mike, but it's the Milwaukee tractor.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
So that's a Umagine kit from Elvis RC Studios.
Yep.
And when I saw that, I stopped him. I grabbed some pictures. But it was, I made a beeline over to Chris Hemistorm, and I was like, "Hey, have you seen that Milwaukee tractor yet? It's one of Elvis RC's." And he's like, "No, but I gotta find it." So I think he got linked up with him and did a little, did some Instagram stuff and whatever. But like that Umagine tractor set is fantastic.
Thank you, Jeremy. Jeremy Burris just sent it to me. I'll share it.
Oh, fantastic. So I actually today downloaded the other tractor, the Mark 1 330, the track crawler. And that's my next project. Like I'm going to build one of those tractors because it's an all 3D print. It's the chassis, the body. The only thing you're buying is axles, trans, links, and drive shafts. So it's an interesting look. Like it just really resonated. There it is. That is, I think that's the whale model. It's got like a big grill, big wide open grill in the front of it. So there's different variations of this thing.
So,
but it's so cool.
I missed out on one of those.
It's a
from
complete kit, or what are you getting?
So if you go to Umagine, I can put a link in the chat. But if you go into Umagine and look up Elvis RC Studios and see some of his creations, it's a file download. And like I said, it's the chassis, it's the suspension, it's got cantilever suspension on it. It's like all this wicked stuff. It's all 3D print files.
Yep.
You sprinkle in your little bit of Amazon, transmission, Amazon axle set, and you basically have a ready to run. You can probably do it reasonably under $300 if you have your own printer, of course. And the BTC 25 code is still active on Umagine. I think it's active until Monday. So if you are going to go on Umagine and look for those downloads, use the BTC 25. And it, like, that thing was putting in solid work. It was covered head to toe in mud the couple times that I saw it. This is the cleanest I ever saw it.
Wow.
But it's impressive.
Yeah, I got to see it clean just like that. And it was very nice. I missed out on an auction. Thanks to JD Hashford for outbidding me. But I actually slept through the auctions. What happened? I jumped on and the auction had just ended and he bought it without me having to bidding against me. But anyway, he loves it. And I seen that. His is a different model, but it's the same one. Anyhow, I want one bad. They look nice.
Hey, Mike, if you click on the link that I just posted in the chat, it'll pull up. It should pull up the tractor. I don't know if it'll make you sign in or not, but it should pull up the tractor that I'm getting ready to do.
Okay.
They have a really great YouTube video on how to assemble it, like step by step, straight through the assembly from start to finish, which is really, if you're going to build one of these kits, you need an informational video like that. It was really good.
Yes. Bravo to that. You you don't know how much you appreciate an instructional video or something along step by step. So if they added that, fantastic. You just nudged me a little bit more at looking at this. Just knowing that they gave the tutorial. That's fantastic. So
maybe we'll do these for a build off at Blue Rocks.
That could be something. Yes. And I think you're going to hear Blue Rocks come out of our mouth pretty often here the next 2 months. It's close. So that means the fix is on the horizon. So anybody paying attention to the recon, fix will be in July in PA. We look forward to that event all year long. So why are we mentioning it tonight? Because Mr. Parker was at Beat the Creek. Don, did you get a chance to rub elbows with the man himself, or
No, I would have loved to. I've got to spend a real long evening with him once on Zoom, and I would have loved to meet him in person. I love his personality and love his ideals. I got to talk to him quite a bit and pick his brain. He's awesome.
Yeah. Definitely awesome that he was able to get out and experience the event from the other side. not as the MC, not as the organizer. Just get
Yeah.
out there and, get muddy with the rest of the
Yeah,
I
comments.
miss seeing Harley too. I would love to see Harley down there.
Yeah. Just by
mean-
proximity, I was around them all weekend, all of them. and it just, Parker at some point had to de-kilt because of mud splashing.
Oh.
So
in parts where the sun don't shine.
yeah, so that was a fun little story. But yeah, and then hanging out in Reef's tent at the with Josh here and there. Josh was one of the ones. He's like, "How in the hell do you keep popping up everywhere?" But it just making my rounds, and then he's videoing, so he's going slower. So I pass him, and I'm in the next tent when he comes into the next tent. So it was a little game I was playing with him. But yeah, all cool guys in their own rights. And Chris, did you meet Chris Hemistorm? Did you see him running around?
I don't know.
No.
Everybody comes through in the rain ponchos. I was going to ask you, did you come by the tent? Because
I
everybody
did. I stopped in
with their hats on and ponchos, and I mean, it's hard to recognize people.
Yeah, if
Did
you
I
saw,
talk with you?
no, you were knee deep in conversation with someone else. I just did a passing wave. I was in a bright orange raincoat along with another 1,000 people. So,
Yeah.
I think with Hemistorm, all you're praying for is to hear him talk. Like that might be the only
as
thing.
soon as you hear him talk, you're like,
you're gonna,
All I
you're
know
right.
is Craig's going to owe me an extra thing of iced coffee. He didn't even bring me a thing of iced coffee over. I'm telling you what.
what?
Yeah, he brought some down. He just didn't bring it across the mud. He messaged me and told me, said he was sorry. I said, we'll catch you on the next one. I may get to see him. I don't know if he'll be at Yankabilly Trails or not, but I'm going down there on May 24th, I think. That's in Kentucky as well.
I think he I think he's talking about Chris Lindgren right now. Is that right, Don? Chris carrying around the coffee? Who was it?
No, I'm talking about Craig
Oh,
with Operation Charlie. I can't remember his last name off the top of my head.
oh.
But he's
Yeah,
awesome.
we're so the coffee thing. So it became a thing. I bought I don't know 20 cups of coffee for the workers, the guys on the tractors, or Joe or Chris Langren. Like if I saw them walking around and I was getting, and I was coming through, I bought coffees, as many as I could hold, and just handed them out. And those guys were really like, yeah, this is cool. Because it did get cool there for a little while. The temperature kind of dropped a little bit. So you're wet, you're cool, cold, and you're on a tractor all day. A hot cup of coffee goes a long way.
Yeah.
And then the buckets of donuts. So I think I am probably about $200 deep in powdered sugar donuts out of that truck. And just handing them out to, especially vendor row. A lot of guys just can't get out like you couldn't get out. And I just walk them around and ask if they want a donut. Spreading a little good cheer.
No, I kept walking by my tent, afraid I'd want too many donuts.
No, I totally walked around.
What? No coffee and no donuts.
RC Attic cleaned me out, and Dixieland cleaned me out of donuts. So it was those donuts are no joke. They are no joke. They are good. She puts a little duck in the bottom of them in the bucket. It's like it's a win-win. So when you get low on the bucket before you see the duck, you hand it off to a kid. Yeah.
What are we dealing with? Like a food truck or local?
Yeah, it's a food truck right up by they parked it up by the barn. There was another food truck in the barbecue truck was in the vendor area, but donut truck was up front. So every time I would walk, because I parked in vendor day parking, I didn't come into vendor row. Every time I'd walk back to my truck, I'd stop for donuts and coffee for people.
I can only imagine the smell coming from this thing. Like I'm totally fascinated by a donut truck. Like, this is
Oh yeah.
incredible.
You know, the little mini donuts,
Yeah.
powdered
Oh.
with cinnamon sugar. Yeah. They're good.
We could do an hour-long show just on the donut talk.
Just
Oh
on
my
donuts.
goodness. Wow,
Just on
wow, wow.
donuts. I could do it.
Um, and like you said, Jeremy, for the people that couldn't get away from the booth, we know Don's been anchored down there, and you, depending on people swinging by, sounded like you got a big turnout from people stopping in to say hello to you. You can't go anywhere without bumping into one of your team members. Are we calling them team ambassadors of the Dino family? It's a large group.
We don't care what you call us.
Okay. The club.
We do have team drivers, but we also have a big group following. So I tell people it just depends on how deep down the rabbit hole you want to go. You know,
Okay.
the more involved you want to be, you know, the more you can. And we did have to switch one thing up to where now we have pro team drivers, just so we could distinguish our comp guys at comp events, you know, from the regular guy that's the team driver. But you know, he's limited, you know, maybe he's just starting, you know, or he don't have, you know, he's not that competitive yet, so that he don't have to move into the pro classes. But other than that, we're just one big family. We don't care. You know, it's just about promoting the hobby, you know, trying to raise money for worthy causes within the hobby, and the kids.
My goodness. You're a good human. I think you'd like to keep the Bible holstered next to you a little bit.
Oh yeah,
you don't seem to pull it out when you don't need to. You don't push it on people that don't want to hear it. You seem to be respectful, but at the same time, you have no problem letting it shine. You're very inclusive with the bring more the merrier. The Dino family will bring you and welcome you. And that's fantastic. I think.
Yeah, I don't like any type of exclusion. You know, if we're going out to dinner, you know, even if I have to take out a loan, if I sound fine, I invite everybody, you know.
Wow.
I don't just, you know, pick a few people, you know, I never do that. You know, everybody's always welcome to come and hang out with us and, you know, take part in whatever we do. You know, I've always been that way. And yeah, you know, a lot of times people say the most Bible anybody's going to ever see is what they see from you shining out, you know. So, you know, I think that's, you know, something that I try to do, you know, not for any reason other than I think that's what I'm supposed to do, really. But it makes your life a lot happier. So I like to be happy.
A lot more enjoyment. And I want to go back to the food thing too.
Always.
This statement, the gallon of the maple syrup from the Pratt family, that maple syrup, oh my gee, wow. Troy, Pennsylvania, that lady was there again, Mike, selling that syrup and those the candied cashews and all that stuff. We need to see if we can get her to Blue Rocks.
Yes.
That Troy, Pennsylvania, it's right up the road. She traveled 10 and a half hours to go to Beat the Creek to sell maple syrup. Like, I think she was camped next to you the last time you were down there.
Last year she was right next to us. Vision Wheels was right there also. Yep.
Yeah, she was right on the corner as you came in to Vendor Village. So she had premium spot, and she was doing premium business.
Bravo. Yeah, she kind of got tucked away last year, so I'm glad that people discovered that. That is fantastic.
Yeah, that syrup is no joke.
Jeremy, I'm trying to get a layout here of a visual of Vendor Row a little bit with Harley there. Was he in the Kirby tent? Was that?
No, he was. Vanquish was 2 tents down from Kirby on that high side. They were kind of in the corner, and then it was Schultz.
As what,
his-
HRP? And
it,
HRP
it was a
booth?
shop or something. It was a shop. I can't remember the name. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And then it was K&K.
Okay.
It was kind of like a horseshoe shape.
What, the vendor area? Or
Yeah.
just those guys? Okay.
Yeah. It was the same layout that when you were there.
Yep. Yeah, that big horseshoe. I'm teeing this up for a reason. Let me slide over here to share the screen. We were, not we, you all were celebrating Beat the Creek on May the 4th. So did any of you two go grab one of your Servo War shirts from Crawler Cult? I know one of your guys did, Dino. Don, I saw
we had people that did. I'm going to be messaging them because I doubt they had a big guy size in stock. So I'm going to message them. I need a custom one. But what's so funny is I come up with that ideal, and I'm sure many people come up with it before me, on a build off that I was doing in the shift. And it was all Star Wars out, white and black, and I had the little Star Wars guys. Well, I never really finished the theme. And then he come out with that Servo Wars, and I said, oh, my God, it's like, that's so awesome. I heard him talking about it, that it was last Beat the Creek. And I said, I couldn't wait for the shirt to come out. But, yeah, I'm definitely going to be getting one.
What was it? I find your lack of fun disturbing. That's it. And then I saw the big "May the Torque be with you." He had that big banner up at his booth.
Yeah.
So I know he looks forward to the Beat the Creek event just to roll out the Servo War shirts. I think the timing is perfect. Jeremy, was it Ghost Scale Day? Is that falling on the 4th? RC Four-Wheel Drive's official Ghost Scale Day, is that fall on the 4th?
I think it fell on the 4th this year.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't see as much about it this year as I had in previous years.
I know.
I just don't think that they're getting the
traction it wanted. You're hoping somewhere along at Beat the Creek, you're hoping that the hashtag continues to be picked up there. I mean, much love to the RC Four-Wheel Drive family. I know they were putting the work in here on the East Coast. I saw John Sullivan. I saw a few of the Soli. We had him on here, the trailer guy.
So
they had a badass setup.
Yeah, Backwood said they had a huge TF2 run on the 4th.
Yes.
So if they,
it was somewhere.
I just didn't. I didn't know about it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
They changed the way that they gave out that packaging this year. So, last couple of years they gave them out. You could get on the website, I believe, and
you could get the pin and the ornament or whatever.
Yeah.
For free.
Notice
and then
any of that.
This year you had to purchase products in order to get it.
Okay.
And so, but now they've, I will say, not complaining about that by no means, because RC Four-Wheel Drive's been sponsored, and even a lot of smaller venues and stuff. And, I know several people that have trail events that are local, and, they've been getting support from RC Four-Wheel Drive. So that's awesome.
Rick, are you saying that there's 251 TF2s in that run? I need confidence. What?
Wow.
251. How
I have a
how do you keep 251 TF2s running?
Oh, here we go. I knew this was going somewhere.
You got a Traxxas TRX4 tow truck.
Oh, that's a busy tow truck. He said there's a picture, so
there is.
I'll give credit where credit's due. If you can keep, I couldn't keep one running.
I'll put Jeremy Bird. If you're still here,
251.
You can find us a photo of all those TF2s, or Rick.
Yeah, that'd be pretty wild.
Rick, if you want to text me a photo, if you have anything from it, it is the one I saw that Sullivan put up. It was pretty cool. Good work, RC Four-Wheel Drive, trying to do the thing. You're going up against Beat the Creek. Come on.
Just the choice alone of running a leaf spring truck at Beat the Creek is brave.
brave at best.
Yeah, and you put that many in one area, and you create a cosmic interference of metal in one place. So that's impressive. That is impressive.
I can see why you'd want to. It's a you want to go scale for go scale day. I get it, and you got the itch. You want to drive your leafer, but yeah, I see. You have a fair point, Jeremy. It's going to get eaten up there.
I mean, I saw what happened to some of the leaf trucks. I saw some carnage.
Yeah.
On Saturday and Sunday morning, and I was like, wow. It was a brave choice to run leafs, but
they're awesome trucks to run. That's what I say, they're definitely not comp rigs, like
right.
full out comp rigs, but there's something to be said about driving one and learning to drive, on crazy terrain. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I got you. I'm just thinking, they're usually not 475 or taller tired
No,
trucks.
they're small tires.
And that thick of mud, it's just a lot of drivetrain strain for a leaf truck.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of axle wrap and everything else. So I'm not bashing on them.
No.
Sorry.
My grandson's time they got done with my high trail was my big monster truck tires. Something wasn't smelling too good under there. I haven't checked it out yet. So my Traxxas, mine needed a TF2 tow truck.
I did see some brush motors, smoking.
Yeah.
That thick mud ain't no joke.
No. Yeah, it's so sticky.
Yeah, I almost lost my shoe a couple times just standing still too long. Like, you got to keep moving, otherwise it just like holds on to it.
Hey, I was just glad I didn't hit the ground. I mean, if someone would have followed me around with the camera, they would have been like, "Yep, this is the time."
He's going.
Looked like a acrobat out there trying to get my balance. I said, "What in the world?"
I had a few moments. I thought I was done. I was like, "Man, just don't let anybody see this." But
it was a blast, though. Let's just say it was a blast. And I tell you what, we were one of the last ones to get out on our end because we were on the lower end, lower half. And the way my trailer was parked, I couldn't get it out. I had to wait till everybody else got pulled out. And we had already loaded up our chairs, so we just unloaded them. We'd bought one of the summer sausage rolls. We got that out and ordered it up, and it was like popcorn. We sit there watching the show. People getting stuck, people pulling them out. It was awesome.
I saw a lot of those summer sausage rolls. Like, that lady was killing it coming in.
Oh my God. Those things, I wish I bought two. They were good.
Yeah, they were good. I tasted a few. I didn't buy any, but it was like everybody's walking around with sticks of sausage. And I was like, what the hell is going on?
They were delicious. Was some of the best summer sausage I ever ate. It was really good.
Yeah, it was like it's like a carnival.
Well,
like
I've got a new
get whatever you want.
It's going to be on our autism auction. Y'all get ready. I told Joe down there, I was like, I stole some of your dirt or your mud.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I got me a big old cup of the Beat the Creek 25 10-year anniversary mud, and I'm gonna be jarring it up and labeling it up. I'm gonna get $100 out of the first jar you watch.
Wow.
But that's my goal, $100 for the first jar of mud for charity.
Yeah, Joe said he was missing about 2 acres.
Yeah, I guarantee it. I get $100 out of one jar. You might be missing more than that. I'll go back with the excavator.
It's still in my wheel wells, that's for sure.
I got this one here from Jeremy Burris. I didn't check the ones from Rick Perry yet, but that's a glimpse. What do we call it?
Where was this one
at? You're Rick. Where was the actual event? I know if I keep saying Northeast, I'm doing it in a disservice. It was some RC shop here in the Northeast.
Okay.
We'll see if Rick actually pulls the name of it up here. Oh.
RC Excitement. Okay, I got it.
That's it. RC Excitement.
Okay, yeah, that area is definitely a center of gravity for RC 4-wheel drive. But there's some cool trucks in there that I'm seeing. That's cool.
World record.
World record.
World record. There's
What was the previous record?
250. I don't know. But yeah, definitely cool. Why not? Why not?
That's cool. That's cool.
I do have an aerial shot here. I was going to quickly thank Eastern. You know what? I'll come back to that one. Shout out to the people at Beat the Creek that were doing the show and shine. The show and shine definitely had a curveball thrown at it. They moved it into the barn.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeremy, did you submit a ride into?
No, sir.
Why not?
I was working.
You're gonna get beat down.
I was actually out on the head of trail 5 or 6.
Okay.
Doing Scaltra uploads.
Oh, so you were working. Did you get a chance to go into the barn and see anything during the judging at all?
I did not.
Okay.
I saw a couple glimpses of a video, but I did not. I did not get into the barn to see it myself.
That's the aerial shot of it.
Okay.
That was pretty impressive.
Cool.
Yes. So Busted. Let's see if we get it right. Austin Brummett of Busted Rust Garage. Those guys did a hell of a job. I know they did a lot of work for Beat the Creek leading up to the event and putting this show and shine on. Again, like I said, they had to adjust. Mother Nature threw them a curveball and they slid it into the barn and did it there. So I do know everything I heard since every day this week. I spoke to somebody, nothing but kind words about the job that Busted Rust did for that. So bravo to you guys. The other booth that was set up, Jeremy, that was new this year was the Trail booth.
Yeah.
We know that because you dropped the booth off. So behind the scenes, you got to hook up with the Trail people. Jeremy Burris put in some work. I have some photos that he sent over of the actual display. Very cool.
It looked good. It was,
did.
You know, for their first large event at having a booth like that is. I know some people walk by and are like, "Oh, Trail. Oh, okay." So it was cool, and he had a really good lineup of trucks, and you know, was able to show off their parts really well. Yeah, it looked good. I know I gave away 2 sets of the Vanquish portal covers from Trail and a few of the Helamon part sets. I gave them to kids that were on their way out of the barn with those trucks. If I saw their truck when I was standing there and I had those in my pocket, I was like, when you clean it up, throw these on. So it was, you know, it's always good to be able to do that.
Absolutely. Let me see here. I was trying to pull up a photo of it.
And they were blingy red. Like I have an affinity for red shiny parts. So yeah, see? Yep.
Ooh.
He's got winch spools.
Yeah, we got some new winch spools in.
Nice.
Colors.
Nice.
Pre-drilled to handle our thicker line.
Yeah, I feel you there. The putting that winch line through those spools is an exercise in old age glass.
Yeah,
must be used.
Yeah, they look good.
I have another photo I can share. We did something new. Let's take it back to our sponsor of the show, Dino RC. We did drop something new at this event. We can show it. Let me pull up. Let's go to here. This will get your attention, Don, at the stage. It's not really zoomed in on it real close, but that is the official Trail Team carry-all backpack with the. Yeah, I can't zoom in on it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Nope. Whoa.
Do you have the Do you have the photos of the BTC bags?
I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hit this. See if I can get it out
That's a
here.
Mighty FC, by the way.
I
That
have,
truck.
what was it?
A Mighty FC
Mighty FC.
from
That was a
Axiom.
great photo. Bravo,
Or
Jeremy. Thank you for taking that photo. That was a great setup.
yeah.
I have the official Beat the Creek bag, and we do have Don's bag. We were selling a crap ton of those leading up the week and the week before for Beat the Creek. The Dino guys and the Beat the Creek bag was definitely
Nice.
hot item. Usually is this time of the year. But we have to shout out, who was it? If you're in the group tonight, forgive me if I get it wrong, but I'm going to give it a shot. Eastern RC Swap and Shop. If I got that right, give me an amen. Eastern RC Swap and Shop. He stepped up at the last second as a authorized dealer to help us get squared away for the event. So Andrew Leonard, thank you very much. That was a, friend helping friend, vendor helping vendor. It was an opportunity that presented itself right at the right time. Then we had the Trill booth. We had the Boom Racing one. There was one more that was on the tip of my tongue that was something different for this year, and I forget what the heck it was. It might have been, I think I got it. It was that Cow RC wash station. That was
the wash station. That
was the last thing I want to bring up. Let me see here. Jeremy, while you I'm gonna quick pull up that photo you want to see.
Yeah. So while I was out with the helping people load the Skelter app, I was spotting what I could see of the carry-all bag, and I came across a couple gentlemen. One was at the barn, and he was a follower. He's subscribed and he watches here. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I gave it to Mike.
I think it was Justin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And then I saw another gentleman buying donuts, and he had a bag. So I paid for his order. And he was like, I don't have cash to pay you back. I was like, I didn't ask you to pay me back. Like, I'm just buying your order. And he's like, that's really cool. So, it's just, just trying to spread some humanity for guys that were, they were just, it's a rough day. And, kids, the wife along, it makes it, makes RCing a little harder to do, and having somebody just be nice just makes the day better. So
I know I saw a lot of people rocking the carry-all products down there.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
There weren't as noticeable because a lot of them had their
big ponchos. Yeah.
But they weren't all hunchbacks. They just had carry-all bags.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, thanks to Fishing Bill. And Size Matters. There was a bunch of the guys out there from the team doing their part to spread the love. We sent down a bunch of stickers and a few little swag items to toss out on the trail to, the best we could. It was a last minute thing, and we got a little chicken at the last second, but UPS came through. Dude, Wednesday night at 6 p.m., we dropped it off. It was there by Friday. Yeah, so thank you, UPS, for coming through. Bill's talking about his wash station over there. Let's see. I
hollered at you, but you didn't hear me.
I don't know if this is the one that Jeremy's looking for, but we're gonna do it anyway. At the stage, that was the closest one we had to Beat the Creek, and that was thanking Eastern RC Swap and Shop for their hard work and getting the word out there. So I know next time Dino RC is going to be the place to be. Don, where are you guys going to be set up next? Where will the Dino tent next?
The next one is Yankobilly Trails. Scott Polson has it. We'll be there in Somerset, Kentucky. And then I haven't decided yet if I'm going to go down to Exo Fest, I guess they're calling it.
Yeah,
Down in
Exo Fest.
Alabama. I haven't
Oh.
decided. I've never been down there to that Cherokee
Is
Rock
this new?
Village.
Is this
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Cherokee Rock Village. Go have fun. That place is amazing.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't decided yet. It's a pretty good drive for us. But I'm wanting to get back up to Pittsburgh. We've got a place up there that we had the pleasure to go to a couple times. They're in just outside of Pittsburgh, Iron City Hobbies, and they're doing a lot of stuff for scale. For the 118th, 124th class, and then he's doing the 10th class, got rocks going in, and we may, this is just a little. We're working on doing a Dino RC state championship for the minis, probably following the RCAC. I forget the initials, but rule set, and doing it up there at Iron City Hobbies, but they're in Pittsburgh. But there's a lot of good hobby stores up there in Pittsburgh. I mean, Show Me Your Hobbies. I think that one's LCS. There's some other ones too that we went to while we were up there visiting. Really nice. And of course, we'll be at 23 RC there in Stanville, Kentucky. Back down to RTO for Arkansas. I'll definitely be back down for that. For October, we'll be there. I think that's the same weekend as Super Shafty. It's so hard for me to choose. I like going to Super Shafty too, but if I have to pick between Rocktober and Super Shafty, I'm going to Rocktober.
Makes sense. Yeah. And going back to David Pigg, he said he's putting new Terrabug panels on while he's checking out Dino RC hat, winch line, and spool.
Yeah, I saw him out in the middle of the field and was hollering at him. I met him at, I think it was my first Beat the Creek, and we've hit it off, and I really like David.
He's a good guy.
And he's got some awesome builds.
Yeah.
So I like to. We didn't get to talk this year, but now we've talked other places. And stuff though, or we might. Maybe we did get together toward the end. I can't remember, but.
Yeah, and the Terrabug panels, if you didn't know, I sold all my panel sets that I brought to Beat the Creek. Mike Kirby was selling them on my behalf, so I teamed up with him and ended up selling 65 panel sets and all of the accessories for the optics.
Wow!
Like killed it. It went really, really well.
I think it helped being partnered with Kirby, because I heard there was 30 authorized Knights people on site at Beat the Creek.
Oh, wow.
30 of them. I was like, holy crap. And I know a couple of them actually had printers on site. I don't know how. All right. They were planning on taking their printers and setting them up. That was pre-Mother Nature coming in and doing her thing. But still, even having 30 guys out there and you doing so well, I think it helped being over there and Kirby doing that special.
Yeah. I mean,
Kirby was the place to be for Vanquish RTRs.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Those deals were insane.
Dude, pissing authorized dealers off everywhere, because I think some of the pricing was less than what some of these
when you buy 8 pallets of material, you get good pricing.
Yeah.
And he bought all the remaining Fordyces that are discontinued. He bought all of those as well. So
he did leak it prior to the event. I know he dropped a shot of the pallet. And I know some of the guys that were going to be bringing them just pulled an audible and said, nope, not even worth it. We'll let Kirby handle them this trip.
And this is the comment right here.
All right.
He ended up buying a new H10 just for the Terrabug panels.
Oh, bingo.
I told you those panel sets were going to sell optics, and that
I-
is exactly what's happening. It's
Yeah.
not the other way around.
I see it's David Macon. I thought that was Matt Kocher's comment.
No,
But
like
he did
I
the
called
same.
that one.
He did the same. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, those look really nice.
You know, James Knight did something right when you have people running out and buying a second optic just to do the panel. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and my green optic. Somebody gave me they gave me the question, like, how much is it? And I was like, it's not for sale. That's the wife's truck. That was
Oh,
the display, the green one. That was the
Yep.
display one. And well, the next question is, what's your I don't want to sell it price? And apparently I was a little lower than their expectation, and I did not come home with it.
Uh-oh.
that one's out there too. So now I got to build another one. But I might wait until I move.
What's the I don't want to sell it price?
Yeah, I'm not
Oh.
answering that question, but it was good enough for me to not bring it home. So
Fair enough.
yeah.
It was good to see Mike out and Kenka.
Yeah.
I didn't make it down to his booth this year, but I really liked talking with him, poking at him a little bit. Me and him like poke each other. But
Oh yeah, good.
he's awesome, very helpful in the hobby.
I
He's
don't
like
think-
the grandfather of RC.
He is.
Yeah,
He is.
100%.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, he was like, hey,
grandfather.
Grandfather,
I said
Godfather,
Godfather.
Godfather.
Yeah.
Godfather, definitely
Maybe he's
Godfather.
more the Godfather.
Yeah.
I've often referred to him as the Godfather. I'm
Yeah,
He was
you know
like,
what?
hey, if you need to use the gator to run out to your truck and back, like, just let me know and you can use the gator. And I was like, yeah, okay, like I will. And I did.
Now,
Yeah, he's really awesome.
did he come to Beat the Creek with the gator also?
Yeah.
Wow, he's got to be traveling now with a little traveling carnival.
Oh, he had like two trailers, maybe
Oh,
three
gee whiz.
trailers of stuff,
Oh, man.
like car trailer sized. Like,
You
Yeah.
know, you said that. I've been saying that for the past year. That's what we really need is we need just a whole RC vendor carnival to where we just travel the country
yeah,
and set up in different areas. Yeah. And just
that would be
make a
awesome.
big loop.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Go on the road like on tour for
Yeah.
a month or two and then come back. That'd be a lot of fun.
I mean, a lot of us look like carnies. We're a little off.
Right?
We, some
You
of us
mean
smoke cigarettes,
they're not
run
tuning.
dangerous equipment. Like,
You're not
I mean,
tuning
it
in to
jives.
see this mug, this
Yeah.
love you face. Like, oh no,
That's
Yeah,
what
we're
I
like
say when I
one-
go to Beat the Creek out. Lets me
the
get into
carny.
carny mode. I love
Yeah.
it.
We
Like,
are.
hey, we're one wolf boy away.
Oh man, where's Bill at with his hillbilly comments and carny comment? He's usually rapid fire on these.
I'm
He's
telling
got
you.
them lined up.
I mean,
Love
it could be a thing. It could
It
be
is a thing. But the Godfather, Mr. Kirby, he has done it right, and his display and all. Bravo to him.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Man.
Yeah.
I love it.
And we're really good at setting up tents too. Like I'm putting this together in my head.
Were
Like,
you?
we got this.
Oh boy,
The
you
carny.
were a
And
busy man.
that's another big shout out is man, my team drivers come in there.
Oh, I like where you're going with this.
When we were setting down, closing up, I started packing. I didn't even go up to the giveaways. I just started organizing stuff and putting it in. Everybody was up there. When they come back, man, I mean, they went to it, and we were loaded up and ready to go. Just couldn't. But I really thank all of them for helping. I have a lot of help when we go to events. I couldn't do it without all the help. I really appreciate it. My dad's been going with me. So my dad went with me down to RTO, and I have family in southeastern Missouri, so we stopped in to see him. And so he went down with me, and So when Beach Creek come around, I didn't even ask him because, Jay's got a big stock bass pond down there. It told me that he could fish in. So I knew he'd want to go. And because my dad, other than buying Goodwill RCs for me, bringing home in boxes of different bodies, that's his limit to the RC, hobby. But when I was getting ready for Beach Creek, he said, I believe I'll go with you. I said, all right. So he went with me, and he really had a good time. My youngest grandson, they come up. This was his first RC event, so that was awesome. They parked. My son come up. I told him, I said, listen, I already told him at Vendor Roll, I said, you're not going to be able to drive back to because they didn't come up to Saturday. Yeah. I said, they got a little Toyota all-wheel drive SUV, but I said, you're not going to make it. You can't drive to the tent. Well, instead of coming up the hill, he would have been fine there. He might have still got stuck, but he come up through the camper section. Well, they parked him at the bottom of the hill.
Wow.
He had to walk up there with both my grandsons, his wife, packing their chairs, everything.
Oh.
I mean, I bet that's a half a mile, maybe.
That's a half mile. Yeah, that's a good half mile.
Time he got up there, when they finally did see him, the rain just started pouring down. I said, they come in there like drowned rats.
Oh.
But they had a good time. I took them back. I was like, I don't know if they'll let me back in. It got so bad, but I took them back to their car when they got ready to go. But they had a good time, and the boys were talking about it for the next week, about being in the mud with Papa Monster Truck. That's me.
Yep. and that's the story of these events, right? It's the 10th anniversary of Beat the Creek. Yeah. It was a mud fest. It was a memorable event because people will talk about it for the next 10 years. Yeah,
I don't want them to pack in the water for next year or nothing.
They like, don't do it.
We don't have to bring any.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah. It was one to remember. That's for
sure.
It
was one.
A lot of memories for sure.
Don, we went a little farther than I wanted to before we made you cough up some kind of a giveaway. So why don't we do two? What do you got? Jeremy? Can we give them? How do we want to do this? You want to do a question again? A trivia? What's the A stand for in AWB? If you tuned in earlier tonight, you'd know. No, Jeremy, if you want to go trivia, I'm thinking that's the best way to do this. Don, what are you going to be able to share with everybody tonight? Because full disclosure, why can you do this, Don? Because we can find you on the Dino RC fan page group. On what nights? What do you? Is this a spontaneous thing or is it scheduled?
So usually anytime after, I'm accessible 24 hours a day, but unless I'm asleep.
Not your OnlyFans page. I'm worried about the
but on the group page, people can, I'm usually pretty active in the evenings. But we do a live Zoom chat almost every night from, anywhere. If I get up early, 8 p.m. If it's late, it may be 11 or 12 a.m. But and then I'll stay up to 4 a.m. and talk with everybody on the West Coast, and then I'll lay back down and get me a few hours sleep before I go to work. But
I know Bobby RC Garage and who was it? RC Princess. There's been a bunch that have hung out with you.
Oh yeah.
That get through. That just absolutely love watching you just do your thing.
And we kind of do what we're doing here, it's just not getting streamed. We just sometimes we're building, sometimes we're talking, sometimes we're planning, just for different events, different things. And sometimes we're sharing, we have people that come on and, we care about their well-being, how they're doing. We're truly a family, and, we get to know each other. And like I got to meet, Sam and Kelly from down in Kansas City, Missouri. This is the first time I ever got to meet them. But I've talked with them hours and hours, on Zoom chat. So it didn't feel like the first time I met them. so it was awesome. But and we've got to meet a lot of new drivers that sometimes I only see them on the giveaway. Maybe I'll see their name, and I always have to apologize because sometimes I can't put their face to their name yet. I'm bad with names anyway, but it takes me a while. But
and you don't always get to see what they're doing. Like right now, as we know that they're commenting, we got Bill sitting here with us right now.
Yeah.
He's that lucky son of a gun. He's putting his Zill together right now.
Yeah.
He was one of the lucky ones that got in. Was able to pick his up at Beat the Creek with the early run, and I know he's got to be loving every moment of it right now. Just putting that boom truck together. So we don't know what you all are doing, but I'm assuming Raymond and Justin and the rest of everybody, we all get to kind of do RC stuff as we hang out on Saturday night. It's great, and so you just pick a night, a random time to do your thing. But if we tune in,
no, it's not random. It's 7 nights a week.
7 nights.
Yeah, 7 nights a week, every night. Even when I go out of town, usually I'll put up a Zoom chat, and I try, even if it's a night that I can't be on, I'll get somebody else to keep it open, and then that way they can talk. But usually I'm on there. It's a lot of fun. So, but it's always late. It's late in the morning, and like I said, but we do that. It started out one night a week, and then it just started growing and growing. And now it's, even after I do my live giveaways on Sunday night, within 10 minutes, I have a Zoom chat up to decompress. And so, like I said, I look forward to talking to all of our drivers, and they give me a lot of input and, on different things that we're doing or trying, or different charities, different people in the hobby, maybe that's got something going on that we could help with. So it's really beneficial to me.
I did. There was a cancer person. If somebody wants to either throw the GoFundMe up here or the name of the person, Jeremy Kilburn, did you hear about this guy?
D&D had one up.
I think the guy we're looking for might have been Justin, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want that. There it is. That's it. Jason Hecker.
Yeah,
Thank you, Raymond.
One of our team drivers.
There he is. No,
yes.
Raymond's your team driver or Jason's your team driver?
Jason.
Okay, so this Jason Hecker just got diagnosed with, was it prostate? Forgive me if I got it wrong, but I know there's a GoFundMe up for him.
Yep.
So I'm sure you guys are doing your thing already there as the Dino family member. I know I was speaking to Raymond earlier in the week. We're going to do what we can from the carry-all side. I went back into the orders. As soon as I saw the name, I recognized. I'm like, dude, I know this name somewhere. And he did order a bag earlier this year. So we want to do what we can to help pay it forward. Anybody dealing with cancer, we'll do what we can to help. Small drop in the bucket compared to the gravity of problems that he's got and facing right now, I'm sure. So, we raised $1,200 last night. Holy crap! Wow,
that's amazing.
That's through the Dino group. Holy crap!
Yeah, and that's something that what he's talking about there. That's something that I didn't do, but people in our group that are in other groups did. So
Fair
that
enough.
wasn't even something
you're connecting that, dude. That's a continuity.
Steve Pye is awesome. Big shout out to him. He bought another one of our team drivers an off-road wheelchair. He heard that he needed it, and he bought it for him and had it shipped to his house. He just got it yesterday, so that was awesome. But there's all kinds of good people in the hobby. I'm not. We're definitely not wanting to try to. People think that we're it. No, it takes all this groups coming together. We're just trying to be like a central hub to get everybody together so that we can, concentrate on stuff.
So humble the way you,
That's cool.
You're not taking any more credit than you need.
No,
just get the word out. All right. Let's.
I don't want to pivot hard off of this.
No,
but I have to what are we giving away? I have 2 questions
Okay.
pertaining to tonight's show. If people were paying attention, they would get this quick.
Bingo.
Let's give away one of our carry-all jerseys I designed for you.
Oh, you son of a gun. He's going to
Yeah.
go to the good one. All right. So this has got to be the grand finale one right out of the gate. I've been waiting for this.
All right. Do you want me to type in the question in the chat, or you want me to just say it?
I guess just say it.
All right. Here we go.
And we're going to keep an eye on the comments here because we're going to, Jeremy?
Yep.
The question will be the first to respond.
First one that shows up in my feed. So this is a cumulative feed. So the first one that shows up. What is the designer's name of the RC tractor we talked about?
Oh, I only know it because I was taking notes. I was literally taking notes during this show. Yes. So
I could only tell you his first name, and that's because you don't need no other name if that's your first name.
Oh, there we go. I seen Chad.
We got it. So Chad Harvey got it. It's Elvis RC Studios, but we'll take Elvis because that is the memorable part. Yeah.
I thought it was Elvis. That's everybody's told me about this. Has been Elvis RC.
Yeah, Elvis RC. Yep.
Hey, Bill, Fishing Bill. This Chad Harvey, is that Chad from Hard Park, or am I wrong, Chad? If anybody knows, is Chad Harvey own Hard Park?
I'm sure he'll chime in.
Chad, but, that's you.
So
Chad.
how do you want Chad to get a hold of you?
Just message me on Facebook Messenger.
Thanks, Bill.
And we'll get you all your info that we need, and we'll get you one to your house.
Good deal. All right.
Yeah. I hope it is Hard Park. Oh, you can give me some pointers. I'm building 3 of their chassis right now.
He says ARC.
ARC.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
That's the name I was looking for, Bill. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jeremy, I'll play this game. Big shout out, Carry-All RC going to donate a sling bag. Jeremy, you can use the next question.
All right.
And I will we'll do it the same way.
Okay.
We'll contact hopefully let's see who wins, and we'll figure out how to get your information.
All right. For the sling bag.
So
what new product did Don show tonight? What new product did Don show tonight? It was quick.
It was quick.
It was quick.
Well, we'll see. Hey, that's fantastic. Make them work for it.
Mm-hmm. So we got the winch spool.
Yeah.
Yep. Fishing Bill. Like Fishing Bill needs another.
No, what was it? Fishing Bill got it, or Billy? Oh no, it was. I guess it is gonna have to go to Fishing Bill.
Yeah, I got Fishing Bill.
Well, Bill, who the hell are you gonna donate it to then, bro?
He'll tie it onto his pink floaty.
We'll let Bill message me and figure out what the hell he wants to do with it. He might want to pay it forward or something. He's going to have them each one, big enough on each shoulder.
Good job, guys. I like when people are paying attention.
Oh yeah.
And Don, you bring a crowd. Like, I don't think I've had this many comments in a feed in quite some time. So
thanks to you. Get everybody together, and really, I would like to see a lot more out. Maybe I didn't get it advertised out as good as I could have either, but it's always good. Our group likes to get together, and we have a fun time. And when we do the autism auction and the Christmas giveaway, I mean, there may be 150 people on for 6-7 hours straight.
Yeah.
It's
wild.
Incredible.
It's like it's the old telethons. Like,
it's a lot like that. Only I don't get to breathe.
Yeah. If you're old like me, You'll remember the telethons that used to go on for
I
like what
had
12
people-
hours or something.
Yeah, I did 2 6-hour sessions last year. I broke it in 2,
Wow.
and I had some vendors that I always hit up, to donate, that were a little mad or hurt at me because I didn't hit them up, and I'm like, I had 165 items. I said, people just kept donating. I said, I didn't need anything else, but that may not be the case this year. So anybody that wants to donate, let me know. But we can always do 3 nights. But
forgive me. Do we have a night picked yet, or is there a date? When is?
No,
that?
it'll be in. It'll be probably the last weekend of September. I haven't checked the calendar yet, but that's usually when we do it. I thought about moving it up a week. I haven't decided yet because it's so hard.
Actually, move it to the month of April when autism awareness is, and get it out of that breast cancer awareness area.
Well, I was going to, but there's so much going on at that time for it, and then I like to send out all the kids something, and then by the time I get it all processed and get it to them, they're getting it, around or before Christmas, and it's really nice. And
I'm busting your balls. I love that you spread it out. Like, honestly, spreading it out a little bit. It's fair. I just like.
But we're not against, doing something in April as well. Like I said, we're all year long doing something for. We're always looking for some charity or something to help. I really like to do, not like just a generic charity. I like to help individuals. So at best I can, I like to help individuals. I think that's really good in our hobby, and there's plenty of people in the hobby that have stuff going on. So it's good to be able to help them.
It's always a lot better when it's personal.
Personal, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Jeremy, Don, I need a ruling on this. The prize that Fishing Bill won, the new item that Dino RC showed off tonight was the spool, but that's not what he won. He won.
I'll send Fishing Bill one of these if he wants it. You want one of these, Fishing Bill? Just tell me what color. We got green, red, black, and
I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. He was playing for a sling bag.
Yeah, he was playing for a sling bag, but I'll send him one if he wants one.
Send me one.
Charge him double.
Send him one in a floaty. Like on an arm floaty, and package it inside the arm floaty.
I told him I started to whip out the winch line so they can tie it on them tractors and pull everybody out.
Can you dive into that new item a little bit? Is it a 25 tooth like spool? Like, is that what this thing is?
They're 25 tooth spools, and they're laser etched with their logo on them, and then we send them out with our Extreme Dino line, and it's already pre-drilled, so you don't have to do anything to it. Got our cards in there that's got
what kind of colors do you have? What do we have? I saw green. I saw red.
Yeah, I got purple.
Okay.
And we got red. I don't have a black one here handy, but I've got black.
Black.
Yeah.
And these are up on your website. Blue. This is official.
This is really a new item.
New.
You can get them right now at 23 RC. You can get them at Iron City Hobbies. I haven't put them on our eBay or our Facebook yet. We did have them at Beat the Creek, but I will. I didn't want to sell out of them or anything. It's limited run of each color, and so we're still building our stock up of them, which we still have plenty of them. But anyhow, so I took them to Beat the Creek. That way I wouldn't sell out of them. I wanted to debut them down there. So,
Jeremy, what's his ruling here? I can't see the comment. He's donating it or something?
He's donating it. He's giving it to the boys from last year's charity event at Beat the Creek.
Bingo.
Oh yeah,
bingo.
That family that
were they there again this year?
Yes.
Anyone? No way.
Yeah,
they came back.
I can't tell I can't say how happy I am that Fish and Bill introduced us to them. Every event we're at
That was a good moment.
that they're able to come to, when they're able to be there, they make sure they stop by the Dino tent,
That's
and
fantastic.
I get hugs and they tell me stories.
Oh.
It's very inspirational, and yeah, they didn't let the mud stop them.
I don't want to repeat the story because I'll probably get it all wrong, but I know there was a hardship. I feel like I want to say the boys lost their father.
Their father passed away.
Father passed away, and then Bill opened up his heart and got them to come. And I love to hear that they came
He
back.
got everybody to come together.
Fantastic, love it.
Yeah.
Well, that is exciting. So,
we are at our 10 o'clock hour.
we are at our 10, and that went fast.
That's why you have to have me on more often, is because
Seriously.
you got so much to talk about, you don't have enough time. It takes like, you need like a series special on Netflix if you're going to put me on.
We just need to get our Carney on, and then
I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff going on in the last 2 weeks. 2 hours just isn't enough. But
and I've been telling, like I said, I've talked to Mike about this the other day, but I've got several people that I've been recommending, to get on the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be really pushing some people that I know that the hobby in general is missing out if they don't get to know them.
Yeah, that's what we need.
It's not a vendor. We've been having people just share their journey. Talk to us about your collection.
Yep.
There's so many great people out there doing it for all the right reasons with the message.
Absolutely.
I mean, I met Raymond and Justin and so many great people, Austin, and so many great people in the last 2 weeks. It's been phenomenal, and there is a continuity to it. That obviously it's got to be the hobby. You find out that we're not alone. We're all nerds.
I love that you all do this show, and I try to watch as many of them as I can. But it's really good, that you do that, and whether there's 5 years or 105 years, right there. A lot of times, I was doing an online Bible study. We haven't done it in the last little bit, but we're going to start back maybe. Didn't have a lot of people that logged onto it live, but I would keep it up on our Facebook page for 30 days. And I don't know what the people at Beat the Creek that come up says, I watched that Bible study. And that wasn't something that I, wanted to do as far as to say, pushed it on, but it was things that our drivers wanted me to do. So it wasn't like it was required or anything. It was just something extra. And we, put it up there. If people wanted to jump on, they could. If they didn't, that was fun too. But I was really surprised at how many people watched the recordings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we get really good, after the live. We'll get it for the next couple weeks. And quite honestly, driving to Beat the Creek, it was an 8.5 hour trip by myself. And I watched or listened. I didn't watch because that would be irresponsible driving. I listened to a bunch of live shows, and not all of them RC. Just to have a voice that I couldn't. It wasn't something I had heard before, so it wasn't like a TV show or something that I understood or had to look at. The fresh voices. These shows are great for that as you go back in archives.
And especially going to an RC event, it's getting the hype a little.
You start to listen to people how will the event meet these expectations, and then driving home listening to the ones that were recorded before the event, be like, yep, that didn't happen. Yep, that happened. Yeah.
I have all the hours of operation of our team drivers down. So when I'm driving, if I don't have a Zoom up while I'm driving, I'll know Bobby or some of them, they're late nighters. And if it's late night and I'm afraid I'm going to fall asleep driving home, I'm ringing them digits and I'm like, hey, you gotta keep me awake.
Yep. I'll make those phone calls too. Yep, for sure.
I know Robert Cole that was in here. He goes with me a lot, and he does a good job keeping me company, and he helps a whole lot. And I tell everybody he puts the RC in Dino RC.
Yeah.
He helps me tremendously, and everybody in the group does.
Awesome.
You got
And
a
yes,
great crew.
Mr. James Story Race, we will see you in July.
Oh yes, we did. If a story, if you're just joining us, we definitely want to trap you in the chair one night. Story.
Yeah,
So please,
yeah.
if we can get
Story.
you to join us.
Story says, "Don't drive tired. Ask me how I know." If you know anything about Story, you get that joke. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't drive tired.
No.
Hey, Don. What kind of camera are you using? Because every once in a while you want to flex back and you want to show your gear, and
Tracks him. Yeah.
it's tracking you. What are we using over there?
You don't have a camera, woman?
Now, what are you using? Your phone or something?
It's my iPad.
Is it your iPad?
Yeah, my iPad
Tracking
does
his
that.
eyes.
Yeah, it'll track me everywhere.
Pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
I'm on a MacBook.
MacBook. Oh my!
You know what, dude? The way I bounce around in this chair, this thing would be like throwing shit at me. Like, stop moving.
Your camera
Yeah.
would throw up.
Yeah, I'm making people dizzy.
I always diss on Apple products, but my son's got me onto the iPhones and the iPads, and now I still got my PC. I don't have no MacBook, but now my phones and tablets, they're iPhones products. I love them. They're really good.
Listen to the Carney talk tech. I love it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Don.
We got a
We
projector
can-
that goes in here now. I just haven't really I used it one night, but I was going to bring it to Beach Creek, but I didn't. But that's something new that we're working on is doing some projector stuff. So
Okay.
that'll be cool.
Well,
But you need to get Jay on to tell you about RTO too. I'm telling you that event needs promoted.
okay.
We
Which
had
one?
Jay on.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Is this the Ozark one?
Yeah, we had Jay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's
he's awesome. We had a
that's
great
going to
time.
be the biggest up and coming event in the U.S. in the next couple of years.
No.
It's awesome.
We were thoroughly impressed with everything he brought forward, the variety, what he's trying to do, and
Yep.
I know the people that have attended this Ozark thing. I haven't heard anyone say a bad word about it yet. So I
No.
think
Beautiful
future's very bright for
location.
bingo. Great
Run
kid.
any kind of RC that you want.
Love it.
He has a pond for boats. They do everything, anything, any scale.
Does
He
it all.
has a track built for it. I mean, it's awesome.
Well, I'm
Yep.
definitely looking forward to what we can do here. Don, I want to make sure we get you hooked up here with Mr. Eddie's RC. I think if he can get you some of his files, prints, take them to that Yankabilly thing. I know
yeah.
Carriol wants to get you set up as our
Yeah.
authorized dealer there.
Yeah.
We'll try and get a package of stuff. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
out doing your thing and if you're doing your Carney thing, that part of the country, we might as well diversify and spread
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
we'll
we're
get
happy
you set
to.
up. We'll get you
I
a
have a lot
banner.
of products. One of my biggest selling items this year was from Wyoming, from WYO Outlaws and Cody Page. He makes these light up whips that are on little springs, and
Yeah.
Okay.
people that was the first thing I sold. I wasn't even open. People that I ran out
Yeah.
when I was at RTO,
No
and they were
kidding.
like, "Do you have them?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I have them. Let me dig them out." But we sold almost 50 sets of them
Is
while
the
we were there.
proceeds going to something, or like
So he has
it's
I don't
not
know
an exclusive item? I'm just wondering what.
that's the only, well, he has a couple items that he sells, but he has his own group that's out there, and they do charities, they do different things too. But he also has his own disabilities and stuff that he has.
Okay.
But he still makes these, and so
Bravo.
all I know is it's a wonderful product, and I
Yeah.
can't you know, I've already told him, like, you might as well get busy and start making me some more.
Well, you
You know,
can't
so
scroll through your fan page without finding it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like right there at the top. I've seen that outlaw thing like
yeah,
mentioned
it's
several
really
times.
good. We have several people that make lanyards, you know, 3D printed stuff. I got I don't know how many of these buckets that Triple ERC brought down to me in coolers and donated. We had somebody donate us a resin printer. You know, I put stickers on like 200 buckets in here, you know, last night, but I said I still got to put little handles on them, but I just put whatever stickers I have on them, different companies, you know, and you know, shout it out, show them off. There's some of them are my stickers,
Wow.
but I just do whatever ones.
Wow, wow,
Oh,
wow.
very cool. Very cool.
Well, hey, listen, obviously your show and what you're doing is getting traction and getting the word out. So we're here to help you in
Yes, we
whatever way we
appreciate it.
can. So thank you for spreading the rad show around
Oh yeah.
to all of your people, and the invite's always open. We encourage people to come and hang out. The next month or two, it's getting all set for Northeast is getting ready for the fix. That will be at Blue Rocks Family Campground in July.
Mhm.
That is an event.
I'll have to check that out. I don't know if I've
Bro,
scheduled
if
anything.
you have
for
not
July.
seen or heard of this before, you've got to dive in. You've got to Google the fix and see this 12-hour challenge. And
Yeah, and we'll do
history
a
of
we'll probably do a pre-show in June.
Is that the
Oh.
big G6 event that they do, and they do all the certifications? and
Bingo.
stuff?
Yes. Yeah.
Bingo.
Where
You've got-
that's in Pennsylvania? I thought it was.
Yes.
It
north
used to
of there.
start. It's moved. It used to
It's
be
moved
in
a couple
Vegas.
times. It used to be in Missouri. And then
okay.
I think they did it in Vegas. They did it
Vegas.
in Europe. But
Yep.
they always do it. It'll be
So
I
is
think
this one that Parker is putting on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think this is the 8th or 9th year at Blue Rocks.
Nice.
Yeah,
It's got to be up there.
It's got to be.
2016.
Well, anybody going that wants the certified Dino line in that
There you
challenge,
go.
hit me up, and
There you go.
I will
There
sponsor
you
you,
go.
and we'll get Dino line G6
This
certified.
guy,
Right
he's
there.
got the hang of it right away. Oh, I don't know anything
Picked up on it quick. There you go.
Yep.
Jumps right in.
Yep.
Matt Coach.
Even if I go, I'm not making that trek around through. I can tell you that.
No. Right? Oh, dude, it's a different breed. I mean, these guys,
Yeah,
the guys and gals,
yeah.
Yeah.
will stand PC on this. The guys and
Yeah.
gals that are doing
And this one's
Bravo.
fixing to be. See what I did there? It's fixing to be. It's
Fixing to
fixing to be a really special
Special.
event for a bunch of OGs.
special.
Nice.
Like,
So
this one will be
Yeah.
good. This is going to deserve the plugs. This is going to deserve the hype and the build up, and we're excited to lead
Mhm.
into it for many reasons. It's where Carryall was born. I mean, no
Mhm.
BS. Born on the
Yep.
blood, sweat, and tears of a G6 lifestyle and
Yep.
the fix. It's very cool. So we can end it with a simple happy Mother's Day to everybody
happy
that
Mother's
joined
Day.
us on this Mother's Day weekend. I'm sure you've got mothers in your group. I mean, you can't be pulling 200.
We have a lot of divas.
Divas. Yeah. So to the divas, the mothers, and all, happy Mother's Day. Don, I'm going to take you out of here.
All righty,
I
guys.
can't thank you enough, sir.
Appreciate y'all having me back. Always a pleasure.
Bro, anytime.
Always welcome.
Jeremy, you better bring me some coffee and donuts next time now.
I will. I promise you. I promise you.
Oh.
Sergeant Major delivers.
Don, we hope to have you back here very soon.
All righty.
We'll keep it warm for you. The
There
seat
you
is
go.
always open. We'll keep in touch. Absolutely. All right. That was mean. That
You
was
just-
that was not intentional, Don. I did not. I know he's laughing his ass off.
he gets click happy.
Honestly, if we draw, I know I'm horrible with the goodbyes. It's like, how many times you gonna say goodbye?
It was only 15 minutes. Yes.
We get locked into this, blah blah blah. So we'll thread the needle tomorrow. Where's my man Richard Kern? If you're here, we're gonna try and do this tomorrow. We'll sneak out for a little bit. The weather's gonna be good, so if
Yeah.
anybody else is gonna do their RCing tomorrow, enjoy. And I know next week we'll have to do a little closer look at what's on your workbench. I know it's been 2 whole weeks. I'm not going to do it tonight. We
No.
went long.
Yeah.
I'll give you an update on the merchant leaf spring conversion, merchant metal. We
Merchant
got
metal.
the seed.
Yep.
Yep, we got the CJ done up.
Good.
Dreamer's been super busy. We've been doing things with the Zool. We've been we went back old school. So
Cool.
we'll dive into the workbench next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody. Don peeled out on us. So Jeremy, let's take us out of here.
Alrighty.
Bill, you won. We'll make sure we figure out how we are logistically going to pay it forward your sling bag, or we'll mail it to you directly. We'll figure that out. So that is your update to you, Bill. We'll be in touch. Jeremy, any last parting words?
Just be good. Have fun with your RCs, and just enjoy the moments. Just enjoy the moments.
WWDD. What would Don do?
What would
Live
Don
like
do?
Don. Live like him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And thanks to everybody for watching, whether you're on Facebook or you're on YouTube on the Rad channel, or if you're on my channel on Addie's RC. It's streamed on both channels. Thank you so much. Consider subscribing, and we'll see you next week with some new stuff.